Hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Danny Nicole, and on this channel we talk about spirituality, personal development, self-love, and all about healing and so much more. I'm so glad you're here, and this is actually my first official video, and I'm so excited for it because it's a really important topic, and it's something that I'm currently going through right now, and I have been for 6+ years. So it's a process, it's a journey, and it's called spiritual awakening. So if you're currently going through a spiritual awakening, or you're unsure if you're going through a spiritual awakening, I'm going to be talking about 7 signs to signify whether or not what you are currently experiencing is in fact a spiritual awakening. And most of the time it is. Sometimes a lot of people don't know what kind of label to put on it. They just know that they're changing, they know they're evolving, they know some kind of transformation is going on in their lives. So for me, mine kind of came out of nowhere. Mine started, so if you didn't know this, with your spiritual awakening, it goes hand in hand with your healing journey, with inner child work, with shadow work, with personal development, with self-growth, with gaining confidence, gaining belief in yourself, like all of it, self-love, it all combines together. Because for me, when I first started, I remember the date to this day, and I always will, because it's the day my life changed forever, and that is August 24th of 2015. I decided to embark on a health and wellness journey because I had struggled with weight up until that point my entire life, and I knew that I wanted to change. I knew that I wanted to become healthier and become happier and develop a better relationship with myself and actually feel love for my mind, body, and soul. So I knew that I had to do something. I knew that I had to take action. So I actually started with Beachbody programs, and I've never looked back. I still do them to this day. I don't really use all their supplements still, but I've kind of transitioned away from them. There's nothing wrong with them. They are amazing, but I've just found better ways to get the most nutrients and the most vitamins, minerals, and everything that I need in my day-to-day consumption through other products. So you do what you want, you do what you feel called to do. Obviously that goes with anything in your life. Don't follow other people. I've learned that the hard way. Don't listen to other people. Don't pay attention to other people's dreams, goals, and aspirations, because you are the main character of your life. It is your decision. You get to create the life of your dreams. It is all up to you. And when you realize how much control you actually have, your life totally changes. So I'm going to give you guys 7 signs today, and then I'm also going to do a continuation video because there's so much more than 7. But I'm going to start with 7. Love that number. And if these resonate with you, if these relate to you, let me know. Also, apologies for the sound in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. I am getting, they are replacing my tile inside in my house, so that requires a lot of extra background noise because they have to slice the things and everything. So they've been under construction for 4 days now, so it's been a lot. Hasn't been ideal, and my schedule and my routines have definitely completely gone out of whack, but that is okay. We adjust, we adapt, we make it work. But I'm just gonna roll into it. I have a little list so that I actually stay on track here, because I have a tendency to go on all the different tangents and to kind of, my mind just wanders. So we're gonna stay on track here and keep this as short, sweet, and to the point as possible. Like I said, if this resonates with you at any point in time, leave some comments down below. Let me know what you're going through. Let me know what you're experiencing. And if there's something that I didn't mention, I'll probably be mentioning it in the following videos to come, all about spiritual awakening, because there's so many levels to dissect of this. There's so many different aspects of it, and it never ends. And you can go on multiple spiritual awakenings. It's not just one time. Like, I've probably gone on like 5 by now, at least. So there's different things that can arise that kind of that kind of redirect you to that place, like whether it be trauma, a sudden like switch change in your life, like things happening abruptly. Like you can kind of catapult yourself into multiple different awakening phases. So with that being said, here we go. 7 things that might signify that you are currently going through a spiritual awakening. Number 1, you are at the phase where you're losing friends. Friends are falling away, whether they leave your life by choice, whether things kind of like fall apart between you guys. I don't care if it's lifelong friends or if it's someone that you just met within the past couple of years, or whatever the case may be. People are going to fall away. When you start going through these changes, when you start shifting, when you start evolving as a person, the people that you communicated with before, that you had relationships with before, that you connected with before, you're probably going to fall out of alignment with them. Because at least for me, in my case, all of my friends, I realized, were just void and space fillers. Like, I never had formed any true connections in my entire life because I never knew what relationships look like. I never knew, I've never seen true friendship in my lifetime, like from my parents, from other friends that I had, from family members. Like, no one in my life had the relationships that I desired and that I knew were possible, so I didn't really have anything to go off of from that. So when I formed friendships, I was just trying to fill the holes that I felt from my childhood and the holes that I felt from my upbringing, and that was lack of love, lack of affection, lack of connection, lack of just affirmation, validation, all the things, like everything that normal humans crave. I never had any of that. My parents were emotionally absent. Most of my family was emotionally absent, and I was very vulnerable, sensitive, and in touch with my emotions. I'm an empath very strongly, and I've always been in touch with my emotions and sensitive side, but no one in my family knew how to deal with that. No one in my family knew how to address it, how to talk me through it, how to work through it, how to even like be around it, because it was just something that was so foreign to them and that didn't really make sense for their like personalities and their way of being. So it was just always kind of blown under the rug, and I never got to really like deal with my emotions, express myself, and heal in the way that I needed to heal. And being that I never had formed true connections with anyone, I realized that all my friendships were so empty-ended, meaning that there was no, like, I was so able, like, it was so easy for me to move away and drift apart from my friends. When I started going through my awakening phases, I literally just stopped talking to them, and they got the hint, and that was it. And I realized my friendships were always really one-sided. Like, I was the one that was always putting in the effort. I was the one that was always like reaching out to them, making the plans, doing the things. So it was just like, I was getting my energy sucked away, because I've always been, at least through my awakening and my growth process, so within the past like 6 to 7 years, I have been energetic, upbeat, positive, optimistic, very just like happy-go-lucky, looking at the brighter sides of life, and just trying to keep the energy alive and the light alive in any situation that I come into contact with. And my friends, I had a dream today or last night, and I realized, like, so I'm dreaming right now with my dreams, and your dreams are so important. This is a side tangent, but your dreams are so important because they, not only can you heal your karma in your dreams, you can solve unresolved like wounds and just things that you might need to address that you haven't addressed in your awake stages. And like when you're asleep, you have like full connection and full view of your subconscious mind. So that's kind of where you can heal and process things and address things that may have been hidden and that may have been layered beneath all of the blockages and barriers that you put up for your own safety. Because we do that. Like, the only way we know, like, because we growing up, we were conditioned to hide and suppress and just push down our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts, our opinions, everything. Like, we are not taught to deal with them openly and directly. Like, so that causes a lot of damage, and that causes a lot of like second guessing and doubting and limiting beliefs and all the things that stack up with that. So that's a whole nother thing. But with my dreams, I highly encourage you get a dream journal. I highly encourage you write them down, because you can get so many answers and unlock so many different aspects to yourself because of your dreams. And with mine specifically right now, all my past friendships are coming up in my dreams. And sometimes people will dream about ex-boyfriends and ex-partners and ex-things like that. I haven't had any boyfriends, so I don't have any exes to dream about, or any like really toxic situations. Like, yes, my encounters with guys haven't been the best, and I do have flashbacks all the time of those, because I've grown and changed so much since putting myself out there in the dating world and allowing guys to take advantage of me and not knowing my worth and not staying true to my values and all that. And that is a topic for a whole nother video, which I'm actually excited to do, because I know it's so relatable to men and women out there, because dating is just a joke right now, and it has been for a very long time. But back to my dreams. So I've been dreaming about old friends and people that I no longer connect with, I'm no longer in contact with. And like I said, in your dreams, you can heal your karmic debt. And that's one of the things that we are here on this earth to do. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And one of the things that we were brought to this earth to repair and to mend is our karmic debts, whether it be from our past in this lifetime, whether it be from our past in another lifetime, because we've had past lives aside from this. Like, this is not the only life that our soul has lived. Our soul could have been incarnated in animals, in tribal masters, leaders, etc., or like, I don't know, prisoners. Like, you never know what lives you could have lived before, and that's why past life regression is really cool, which is something that I'm going to be diving into this year, because I really want to know about like my past selves and like healing those wounds and healing whatever areas that need to be worked through there, because I know that is something that affects your now being as well. So just something to note. But what I realized with my dreams and what I realized with my past friends is I attracted people that needed help. I attracted people that needed guidance. I attracted people that needed support, that were going through it mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, that didn't have it together, that had a lot of doubt, that had a lot of limiting beliefs, that had a lot of struggle, that were stuck in their comfort zones. All of my friends didn't want to change. No one wanted to grow, no one wanted to evolve, no one wanted to be different. And I knew that I was always different. I knew that I was always weird. I knew that I was always separated from everyone else, and I used to think of that as a bad thing, and I used to dwell on that, and I used to be really hard on myself about that. But then I realized it's a superpower. Then I realized that it's fucking awesome that I'm so different and that I am so like one of a kind and unique, because that means that I have qualities to offer that no one else has. And when you step into that, when you embrace that, when you acknowledge that, you become that much more powerful. Like, another reason why we're here is to step into our power, is to spread our light, is to spread our knowledge, our wisdom, our stories, in hopes to inspire, motivate, encourage other people. Because the reason that we go through the things in our lives is to help other people get through those same or similar circumstances. Like, the universe won't give you anything that it knows that you can't handle. Did I say that right? The universe won't put anything in your way, anything in your path that it knows that you can't overcome, that it knows that you can't work through. So know that anything that is being put into your life is for you to power through, overcome, and then from there you're able to coach, teach, lead other people through that aspect of their lives. So I know I've already gone on all the tangents, shocker, but back to the friends. So I realized that I attracted basically who I want my now clients to be. All of my friends were people that I actually like wanted to work with, like the style of people that I want to work with. I want to work with people that are lost, confused, that need guidance, that need support, that need help, that need just tips, tricks, hacks, whatever the case may be, to get through their journey, to navigate through this crazy thing we call life. But it's just crazy to have that realization now. And I was just like, wow, like I literally woke up this morning and I was like, wow, that's so wild to connect those dots. But bottom line is that a lot of people are going to fall out of your life. You have to become comfortable with letting go and with detaching, because something I realized throughout this journey is that everything is temporary and no one is guaranteed to be in your life forever. No one is guaranteed to be around forever. Like, you are not, that's just how it works. Like, you just kind of have to accept, like, embrace the time that you have with them now, be in the moment and be present for the time that you have with them right now, and know that tomorrow it could be gone. The next day it could be gone. You have no idea. And it's just, you can't really predict your spiritual awakening either. It kind of happens like all of a sudden. Mine happened in phases over the past 7 years. So it's, you just kind of always have to be prepared in some kind of way. And yeah, so just be ready for people to fall off, for you to lose people. And I detached myself from a friend that I've known since I was 6 years old. I realized that all of my friendships were all surface level. There was no substance to them. There was no depth to them. We didn't talk about anything that involved growth, that involved betterment, that involved changing. And your friends should be leveling you up. Your friends should be helping you to get to your next level, helping you to get to your next phase. If your friends aren't encouraging you, motivating you, inspiring you, then you don't really need them in your life. And it's not that necessarily that you have to eliminate them completely. You can like slowly like just stop spending as much time with them and just kind of let it fade out naturally, or you can be drastic and cut them off completely, whatever works for you. And you can give them an explanation if you want, like, hey, I'm just going down a different path and I don't feel like our paths are aligned anymore, like, I'm really sorry. I don't, like, whether you understand or not, this is my decision, like, blah, blah, blah. Just kind of, like, explain what you're feeling, and, like, they will either understand or they won't. And, excuse me, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. At the end of the day, you have to do what you know is going to be in your best interest and your, that is going to help you to grow. Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And you are the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if the people that you are surrounding yourself with right now aren't going anywhere, don't have any goals, don't have any dreams, don't have any desires, ambitions, things like that, and aren't trying to expand every single day and get 1% better every single day, I'm sorry, you probably should distance yourself from them, because they aren't going to help you to get to where you want to be. They aren't going to help you to get to your goals. They aren't going to help you to level up. So bless and release and just move on, but know that that is a huge part in your spiritual awakening, because I literally let go of everybody. Anybody that knew me in the past 5 to 7 years is no longer in my life anymore, except for my sister, but like, that's obvious. But other than that, they're all gone. So next thing, number 2, as we're almost 20 minutes in, I'm going to try to speed this up so you're not here all day. Number 2 is that your job is going to feel out of alignment. Like, you are going to feel like, what the fuck am I doing here? This isn't getting me anywhere. This is soul sucking. I don't feel passionate about this. This is literally draining me every day. Every day I come here, I feel less than. It doesn't make me feel worthy. You're realizing like how pointless it is, because we are in a matrix. And the matrix jobs want to keep you stuck. They want to keep you from asking questions. They want to keep you from leveling up, from realizing your true potential, from keeping the darkness inside, keeping you in fear, rather than allowing you to be yourself, be true to you, spread your light, do something you're passionate about, do something that lights your soul on fire. They don't want you to do that. The inorganic ones, the people up there, they don't want you to know who you truly are and your capabilities. So therefore, they put all these bullshit jobs out there and these things that because like if you think about it, all jobs are really dead end. Like yes, there's level, like some jobs have levels to move up into like corporate, into management, into all this stuff, but at the end of the day, what are you getting from this job? Like yes, maybe you'll learn like some communication skills and some like math, like mechanical skills and like whatever technical skills, all this stuff, but like is it really helping you long term in life? Like do you want to work this job until you retire and then like just have your 20 plus years or however a small amount of time you have to truly live at the end of it? No. You want to do something that you're passionate about. You want to do something that you feel called to do, that is going to help the collective, that is going to help people grow and transform and evolve in this lifetime, and not something that is draining, soul-sucking, and makes you feel like shit every day and makes you come home and want to drink and smoke and run away from all of your problems. No, we don't want that. We want something that is lifting us up, that is making us so happy every single day, that makes us excited to show up, and we know we're doing good in the world. We know we are benefiting others, and we are making this world a better place. And a lot of times people that go through their spiritual awakening, they realize their soul purpose through their awakening, which is something that I've realized more concretely. Like I knew that I was always meant to help people. I knew that I was always not meant to be in a 9-to-5 in an office working for someone else, like doing a job for 20, 30, 40 years and then retiring. Like I knew that I wasn't meant to be stuck somewhere. I knew that I wasn't meant to follow the stereotypical norms. I knew that I wasn't meant to be following the society's roadmap that they create for you, and that you don't have to follow. You're allowed to go against the grain. You're allowed to be a unicorn, be a black sheep, spread your wings and soar. You don't have to be a sheep. You don't have to follow the herd. You don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. So if you're at a place where you feel unaligned with your job, where it literally is so painful to get yourself out of bed and make yourself go every day, it is time to reevaluate. It is time to switch things up, make changes. There's no rule in the rule book that says, there is no rule book. You create the rule book. There is no rule that says that you have to stay here because you went to college, you got this degree, and this is what you are supposed to follow. Like, forget everything that your parents say, forget everything your friends say, your family, all of it. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. Do what lights you up. And I'm telling you, like, I know that I'm meant to help people navigate through this journey called life. I know that I'm meant to help people heal their trauma, heal their wounds, connect with their inner child, do inner child work, and find self-love, better their health and wellness, better their mindset, all of that, because I've done that. I've overcame that. I have worked so hard to get to where I am, and now I want to help each and every one of you get to this place or better. So, if your job's not it right now, if you just know in your gut, and that's another thing, follow your intuition, follow your heart, because they don't tell you to do that either, because that would just be wrong. It's not wrong. There's a reason that we have 3 different minds: our mind, our heart, and our gut. And they will never steer you wrong. So follow it, trust it, and do something that makes your heart happy. Your eating habits. This is number 3. Your eating habits will change drastically. For me, I stopped eating meat. I stopped eating dairy. I stopped eating gluten. I basically went vegan. There was occasional times where I still have dairy. There's occasional times where I have salmon. But like, I don't like to classify myself as labels, because I could say that I'm vegan like 95 to 97% of the time, but I don't want to put a label on it, because that just, like, I feel like that kind of gives a place for restrictions, and also it just, like, I feel like it puts so much, like, more anxiety and stress on it. Like, you don't have to stay in this box. Like, society and the matrix wants to keep you in these boxes. You don't have to put yourselves in the boxes. So I eat intuitively. I listen to my body and listen to what my body wants. And a lot of times, like, for example, if you are feeling ungrounded, or like you just want to be more connected to the earth and to like just this life in general, if you feel like you're just up in the clouds, just like not here, and you want to ground more in the earth, you eat for your root chakra, which is red. So that would mean like beets and tomatoes and maybe like red apples and I don't know, like just red things. Like you can eat for your chakras. You can eat to cleanse your body in the way that it needs to be cleansed. It's so cool, like once you start learning all the ins and outs of it. But bottom line is just eat intuitively. Eat what your body feels like it needs. And like if you don't have to go vegan, you don't have to go completely plant-based, but there's so many health benefits and there's so many things that are linked to the betterment and just exponential growth when you do transition to plant-based. And you don't have to do it all right away, you don't have to do it like super drastically, but for me it kind of just like changed overnight. I was just like, I don't want to eat that stuff anymore, I don't want to be associated with it, like I don't want to be putting that into my body's a temple. And you realize like that you have full control of this vessel. Like we are souls, but like you want to take care of the body that your soul is incarnating, because that's the way that you can fight off disease and fight off illness and stay as healthy as you possibly can in order to live the most fulfilled life as possible. So you want to take care of your vessel, you want to be fueling it with the best possible things, because you want to have energy, you want to feel alive, you don't want to feel like groggy and tired and sluggish all the time. And you have the ability to fuel your body in ways to make it feel just like high on life all the time. So I'll do a separate video on that as well, just like eating in general and what I eat in a day and like what it looks like for me, and just like guidance and support on it, because everyone is different and some people might need me in their lives and other people, like I've been fine without it, and I've been doing it now for probably over a little it's probably been like a year now, and I've like gone vegetarian, vegan before, or cut out meat before in my past, but like this is the most consistent I've been, and I feel the best I've ever felt. So that's just me. Do what's best for you, do what you feel called to do, but bottom line is eat intuitively. You don't have to eat to follow a label. Like no one else is paying attention to you, no one else cares what you do. You do what's best for you, and that's it. Number 4, old trauma and wounds start to surface. And this is like all the things that you've suppressed over time, all the things that you may have buried from your childhood, from past relationships, from, I don't know, maybe a period of abuse that you went through, or maybe an assault of some kind, just a traumatic experience of anything you've been through. It's gonna come to the surface, it's gonna come up. You're gonna start noticing repeating patterns. Like a lot of, for me especially, like when I was in the dating world, like I realized that I was attracting the same kind of guy over and over again, and it's just like the only time when you finally realize that you are doing this to yourself and you're bringing these people into your life on your own accord, you kind of like take a step back and evaluate like what is causing this? Why am I still going through the same patterns over and over? And you have the ability to put an end to it. You can put a stop to it. Like the universe wants you to end those cycles, end those patterns, end those bad habits in order for you to ascend, in order for you to break away from your past selves and step into your highest self, into your highest timeline. That's our goal here. Soul liberation, healing our karmic debt, connecting with our highest selves, living at our highest timeline, stepping into our truest and highest potentials, and just like living the life that we deserve and that we have, like this is our birthright to like have this human experience and live it to the best possible way that we can. So yeah, that's gonna be a whole nother video as well, because trauma and wounds and inner child work and shadow work is just so deep, and I'm already 30 minutes in and I don't want to keep you guys here all day. But just know that things are gonna come up, things are gonna rise to the surface, it's gonna get uncomfortable, there's gonna be a lot of tears, there's gonna be a lot of uncertainty, there's gonna be a lot of diving into the unknown. but know that you are strong, you are capable, you are powerful, and getting to the other side of everything you're experiencing is gonna be the most rewarding and like fulfilling experience ever. So yeah, just be ready for getting out of your comfort zone, because going through a spiritual awakening requires a lot of that. Number 5, surface level conversations and meaningless connections no longer are something that you want to occupy your time with. And what I mean by surface level is just like the Matrix bullshit conversations where you just say, hey, how are you? Good, how are you? And like, no one really cares. No one really like strangers don't really want to, like, that's just a generic, basic, like, whatever, how's the weather today? What do you do for work? Like, how are the kids? Like, whatever, just like the stupid, meaningless, like, what's your favorite color? How was your weekend? Like, just the space filler kind of conversations that don't go in depth, that don't have any kind of substance to them. And like, it's just, you don't have time for connections that aren't going anywhere and conversations that aren't going anywhere. And it's just like, our energy, you realize your energy is so sacred, and you realize that your time is so valuable that you don't want to just be giving it to anyone and everyone. So you can be selective. Like, if you are in a conversation and it's not serving you and you're not getting anything out of it, excuse yourself. Walk away. Be like, thank you for your time. Like, I'm sorry, I have things to do. Like, da-da-da, whatever. Like, you don't have to stay. Like, move away from the people-pleasing tendencies that we all have, and end the conversation, end the relationship, end the dinner, whatever, wherever it is. Like, if you are, like, say, this is a good example, if you're at an outing with a group of friends that you used to be friends with, and they're all complaining and judging and talking about the news and talking about, like, just bullshit scenarios that aren't leveling you up, that aren't making you feel good, that aren't high vibrational kind of conversations, excuse yourself, walk away. Thank them for their time. Like, be like, this is not in alignment with me. Like, I don't feel like I want to be involved in this. Blah blah blah. See you later. You can do that. Like, I feel like so many people are like, think it's rude and whatever. Like, no, it's only rude to yourself that you are giving away your power and your energy to this person that is literally just wasting air by pointless words that are coming out of their mouths. Like, a lot of people don't even realize they do it. It's just like a unconscious, like, mindless thing. Like, when you see people, like, we automatically are like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Like, it's just an automatic, like, instinct. Like, same with, like, grocery store conversation. Like, people are just forcing conversation. Like, in the service industry, customer service, like, people are just trying to force conversation in order to get a tip, in order to give you a good experience, in order to, I don't know, some people are genuine about it, but most aren't. It's just what they're paid to do, or whatever the case may be. So you don't have to entertain those conversations. Just know that, and know that they're gonna be more bothersome now than ever before. Because I know for me, like, I just don't put myself in those scenarios anymore. Like, I know what fills up my cup. I know what makes me feel good. I know what makes me happy, and I don't do things that don't. So, number 6, you are more focused on going inward and building the relationship with yourself. I know for me, I knew that I needed to heal the relationship with myself, and I knew that I needed to, just give myself the time to get to know who I was, get to know what I liked, my passions, things that lifted me up, things that made me feel good inside, and just, like, helped me to grow and helped me to help other people as well, because I knew that a lot of people are afraid to go inward, and I knew that I distracted myself. That's why I had meaningless friendships and meaningless hookups, and that I spent so much time on dating apps, and I spent so much time, like, spending it with other people, whether we had true connections or not, because I was afraid to be alone. I thought it was lame to be alone. I thought I was a loser if I, like, hung out by myself and I didn't really have any friends and blah, 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 because society teaches us that we're supposed to have friends and we're supposed to have all these people in our lives, and we're not cool if we don't. But like, why have meaningless friendships and meaningless connections when you can grow as an individual and like truly see your powers and truly like fill all the voids that you're trying to fill externally, which you cannot fill the voids and spaces that are lacking in your life from external sources. No matter how hard you try, no matter what you do, like a lot of people look for it in other people, in alcohol, in sex, in porn, in whatever, all these different things that they try to, like traveling, vacations, whatever. Like, you cannot get the fulfillment you need by anything external. It all is inward, and like doing inner child work, doing shadow work, working through your traumas, working through your wounds. It all goes hand in hand, and it's all important. And doing it daily is something I do. Like, I'm just constantly thinking about things and writing things down. I have so many different journals, so yeah, I'm always going inward, and I'm always like connecting the dots and trying to figure out like why I used to do this, or why I made that decision, or this, that, and the other. Like, it's actually really cool when you truly sit down with yourself and you just like kind of see the past selves and like how you used to be, and then you look at yourself now and then you see how much you've grown, you see how much you've transformed, and then you're like, go fucking you. Like, that is so awesome, because I look at it all the time and I'm just so proud of myself, because it's so easy for us to get down on ourselves, be hard on ourselves, and whatever, but you don't have to be that way. Like, you've come so far, you've done so much growth already, and it's important to celebrate yourself every step of the way. And I'll do another video on that as well, because that's a huge topic for me. Like, building the relationship with myself was the best thing that I ever did, and I've never loved myself and never been more infatuated with who I am as a human being until now, until this journey that I embarked on and will never get off of. Because once you start on your healing journey, once you start on your spiritual journey and spiritual awakening, it never stops. It's just different levels, again and again and again. And then another final one, number 7, of this video at least, is reevaluating all your beliefs. And this is a fun one. So basically, like, everything you've thought of before, everything you felt before, all of your values, all of your standards, all the things that you believed, all of the ways of life that you followed, probably are going to go out the window. Like, they're going to go out the door. They're not going to be in alignment anymore. You're not going to agree with a lot of them. Like, some of your past behaviors and how you showed up and everything, like how you talk to people, how you talk to yourself, like just your way of living in general is going to completely change. Like, you're just going to adopt so many new habits, so many new ways of life, and it's just like, you have to, in order to grow into the person that you want to become, in order to step into your highest self, you have to rid your life of everything that no longer serves, and things that just aren't working anymore, and things that just feel icky, and things that just don't feel in alignment. Like, you're gonna know when it's not in alignment. Like, it's going to be so hard to want to show up to that job, to want to hang out with that friend, to want to have that conversation, to want to go to that event or whatever. Like, for me, I thought I was going to be a Beachbody coach forever, and that was going to be my path. And then I realized that, like, everyone in the Beachbody world is not on the same journey that I'm in, is not on the same path. Like, none of them are, like, spiritually awakened. None of them know what's going on in the world. None of them are awakened to what is truly happening. And it's just like, we are just so out of touch with each other. And I realized that wasn't the path that I was meant to go down. And it's actually really cool. Like, it sometimes it's overwhelming and it's shocking and it can be painful and really hard to deal with, like, going through all this processes and just getting confronted with all these things that, like, made sense at one point and now they make absolutely no sense. And it may be hard for you to like accept at first, but once you do, and once you see it from like your new perspective and like a bird's eye view, which is how I kind of live life now, from like, I live it from like up above. Like I'm constantly observing like everyone else around me and everything around me, and it allows you to like just be able to flow through life more easier and just like be so much more present and so much more in the moment. And it allows you to be like more expressive and be more true to you when you're living in the state of just like presence and openness and full acceptance. And yeah, but I'm gonna have to do another video, which I already said I was going to, on the next maybe 7+ ways to know that you're going through a spiritual awakening. But those are just 7 of them. I'll go through them really quickly. 1, losing friends, becoming unaligned with people that you were or used to be aligned with. 2, your job doesn't feel right. It's soul sucking. It just doesn't make sense anymore. 3, your eating habits and the way that you look at food is completely different, completely changes. 4, old trauma and wounds start to come up. You're triggered more. You are just dealing with a lot of unhealed wounds and trauma and things like that. 5, surface level conversations and meaningless connections are something that you don't want to entertain or put up with anymore. 6, you're focused on going inward and building the relationship more with yourself. And 7 is reevaluating all your beliefs. And like I said, if any of this resonates, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you're currently going through or what your situation looks like. I do hope this helped. Know that you're not alone. Know that you're not going through this by yourself ever. There's so many of us that are going through all different stages of this process. So hopefully you come back to this channel. I'm going to be sharing so much more about my journey, about self-love, about personal development, about mindset, perspective, healing, inner child work, shadow work, all of those things. So if any of that interests you, you know where to find me. With that being said, I hope you guys all have a magical, beautiful, wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and looking forward to seeing you next time. Love you!